Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have just reached our, well, our set start time. We have currently got 7 of 10 in the lobby. Everybody is well on their way. With amateur leagues like this, you can usually count on teams using up most of the 15 minutes they're allotted to get into the match before it is forfeited. But like I said, the lobby is filling up pretty quick, so I think we will be going anytime in the next 5 minutes, but for any of you wondering when the hell the game is going to start, I will keep you updated. We should be underway within the next 5, so stay tuned, and if anything changes, I will give you another update. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will talk to you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the UGC League Season 4 NA Steel Grand Motherfucking Finals. This is going to be a good one. We have got a best of 5 coming up between Throwing Pains and, oh no, Glory Push Mid. There we go. I lost their team name for a second. But, man, this is going to be a gooder. Both of these teams done really, really well this season. Glory Push Mid went 13-2 in the regular season, and Throwing Pains went 10-4. So a little bit better record on the side of Glory Push Mid, but both of these teams really, really strong. Looks like in Twitch chat we already have a couple of fans of Throwing Pains, so definitely excited to see what they can bring out here. But interesting to note that Commander Schwegs and Gregor from Throwing Pains are both UGC League admins, so if you've played in the league before and you have had any grievances, you probably had to deal with these guys. You may like them, you may not, but they are super swell folk to be dealing with, and I'm good friends with these guys. I'll be seeing them down at TI as well, so it's going to be a good match. I might flame these few a little bit, but man, we are blazing through this draft, so I'm going to pop over to that, get you off of my ugly mug. Thank you guys for watching, and let's pop over to the draft. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. So right off the start, we got Witch Doctor, Undying, Bloodseeker, Gyrocopter banned out, and Queen of Pain and Leshrac picked up without any sense of hesitation. No reserve time burned, and we are good and ready to go into this game. Alright, just trying to catch up with Twitch chat here. People discussing the teams.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Alright. Alrighty. Alrighty, so draft turning out pretty standard. I mean, the fact that Leshrac is through the pool is really, really scary, man. Oh god, that hero. I don't know how this hero has a less than 60% win rate on Dota buff. It's ridiculous. You press R, you win at that hero. It's just, it's too easy. It is too easy, and somehow some people manage to lose with Lesh, which is, it's mind-boggling. It really is. But he's going to get picked up in this game, and I'm very curious on the Queen of Pain versus Leshrac matchup. I believe that Leshrac has the edge. I just don't think Queen of Pain can harass as much as Leshrac can. Maybe at level 6, if Quap can get Lesh down a little bit, she can kill him with her ulti, but it's pretty I think Leshrac wins the battle here. Now the two supports picked up right after that, Lion and Vengeful Spirit, both very, very strong in their own right, but I do think the edge goes to Lion in this scenario. He's been a really, really strong contender for top support in pretty much all of 684. There's not too many other supports that have really taken the cake like Lion has. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of who else. Like Winter Wyvern, I think he's top tier support. I think Winter Wyvern, she's gonna blow the hell out of the International. She's gonna be 100% pick ban rate at the International, in my opinion. But the Lion pickup's gonna be interesting. It's never something you really want to ban. He's kind of just sitting on the edge of the meta. He's kind of just, he's not top tier, but he's so good that in the right hands he just wins games. So I don't know. But, yeah, next couple bans coming out here. We've got a lot of purple being banned out. We've got the Anti-Mage and the Dazzle, but not continuing in that tradition. They go ahead and they ban out the Beastmaster, which I like the ban on the Beastmaster. He's really, really strong right now, and, I mean, the potential of that hero is so good, especially against these big mobile blinky heroes like the Queen of Pain. Vengeful Spirit, not really blinky, but she's always got the swap for mobility. She usually buys a Force Staff. She can be pretty mobile if she needs to be, so there's a lot of potential for Throwing Pains to be moving around. They get that Beastmaster out of there so they can't get locked down, and of course that limits the push potential as well, because getting Beastmaster and Leshrac on the same team, that equals dead towers really, really quick. So there's that. Bristleback banned out by Glory Push Mid, just kind of fearing that little bit of a tanky front line to try to deal with that Lesh. Bristle is pretty good at dealing with Leshrac just because of the fact that, you know, if you don't ever want to turn off your R as Leshrac. You just kind of want to be pumping out damage constantly, and you really have to be careful about how you do that against a Bristleback, because if he's got a lot of health, he can kind of just sit there and spew quills at your face. And those add up pretty damn quickly when you're a squishy end hero like Leshrac, so there's that to take into account. But Winter Wyvern, picked up by Glory Push mid. I'm,
10 seconds remaining.
Who the hell? Oh, there we go.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, no, the Winter Wyvern picked up. Like I said, I think this hero is going to be top tier, man. He is so strong. And, well, she, I guess, is so strong. You know, the only thing that I really think is a detriment to Winter Wyvern is the fact that she leaves heroes open to a lot of magic nukes. You know, with that Cold Embrace, you negate all physical damage, but of course you leave whoever you've imprisoned susceptible to a lot of spells. So, my team and I have found that Skywrath Mage is a really good pickup against Winter Wyvern. Not only can you just ultimate whoever you Cold Embrace, or, sorry. You can ultimate whoever the Wyvern Cold Embraces, which means that, you know, they're just stuck there taking that 5 million frickin' damage, and they can't really do anything about it. It's a really, really good counter. So that's something that might be considered here. Now, I think Throwing Pains, they've already got their 2 supports in the Venge and the Silencer, I believe. I don't think they'll be running a core Silencer. It's still potential, it's still possible, but they're going to have to lane really weird to be able to fit that in. So I think we're more likely to see the Silencer going in a duo offlane with some sort of obnoxious offlane, or maybe I'm trying to think of who would be really good. Maybe
10 seconds remaining.
Would have said Bristle, but that's kind of banned out. That's banned out already. Undying would have been good, but that's banned out. Yeah, I don't know.
Reserve time.
Tusky. Silencer Tusk. I like that combo. It works out really well, and especially against like the Winter Wyvern and stuff. If you can throw the last word on her, she kind of has to choose what she's going to do, whether she wants to give herself that flight away or Cold Embrace herself. Either way, she's kind of stuck doing nothing, but she does have the advantage of being able to fly over the ice shard, so if she gets in a sticky situation there, she might be able to get out. Lion, he's got all the CC he needs, but it's really going to be down to whether or not he can afford to continue spamming his spells. Even with the mana drain, if Silencer just throws off a couple of Curse to the Silence, makes Lion blow a spell or two, and he's going to be down and out of mana, and the Tusk can kind of run free. Now, the reason I really think it's going to be the Silencer and the Tusk together is just because I find it really awkward to run the Silencer on a core support role. He's really good at shutting down heroes, but I don't think he's fantastic against a Wind Ranger. I think Wind Ranger just trades blows with him, and then as soon as he throws out the last word, she just wind runs away, takes the damage, and gets out, and is totally safe. So I think it's a sketchy matchup, and as well, you kind of want your Silencer to get a little bit of farm, whether it's in kills or whether it's in creeps. You want that Silencer to get some damage. So, I'm definitely feeling that Silencer Tusk offlane, and it's just up to Throwing Pains what they want to pair with the Vengeful Spirit in the safe lane. They're going to ban out the Faceless Void to avoid that, and the Drow Ranger is going to be banned out by Throwing Pains, not wanting to have to deal with a 5 ranged draft on Glory Push mid. Really good call there, in my opinion. They've got a lot of frontline in the Leshrac and the Wyvern, and if you get that Drow Wind Ranger pairing, that can get really, really nasty. So it's I think it's a really good ban there. They're going to be safe from that. Glory Push mid going to have to reconsider who they want for their carry. I'm almost thinking something really tanky and up front right now. Maybe a,
10 seconds
you know, I would say a one-position Bristleback if that wasn't banned out, but perhaps maybe a Slardar or, you know, even a Chaos Knight or something to just kind of give him some beef in the front line. Some stuns to lock down the squishier heroes of Throwing Pains and just, you know, soak up a lot of damage. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But Throwing Pains, they got to consider their carry as well. Something that pairs well with Avenge. There's a lot of heroes that do that, and I think their safe lane is going to be relatively safe. Yeah, it's probably Wind Ranger offlane, so I think Venge can deal okay at trading with the Wind Ranger. She's got a lot of damage. The Scream, the stun will keep Wind Ranger pretty well harassed. She's probably going to get her XP, but I doubt that she'll be getting uncontested farm up on top. And Pudge for Glory Push mid. They're opening up this series. Interesting. All right, cool. I am stoked to see a Pudge. And so this changes up their draft a bit. I think this will probably be a one-position Leshrac. And Pudge off lane and Wind Ranger mid, or Pudge mid and Wind Ranger off lane. I think the two are interchangeable, but I think without a doubt we're going to be having a one-position Leshrac. I think that's the answer, and then Wind Ranger and Pudge are going to be going off to other lanes. So really interesting draft here, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. Now, Pudge versus Quap is, I think, a lost lane on mid. You can pull some fancy shenanigans on the Queen of Pain. You can walk up to her with Rot, make her blink, and then like throw your hook where you think she's gonna blink and stuff like that. There's some counterplay as Pudge, but you have to be really aggressive and you have to make sure you always have the life lead, or else that Quap is just gonna burst you down. So I think that's a really sketchy matchup. So I think they want to put the Wind Ranger in the mid lane and then maybe put Pudge off towards the off lane. And I think it works out because, as I said, I'm pretty sure Throwing Pains are planning duo lanes. So if you have the Vengeful Spirit +1 in the safe lane, that Venge is never going to be safe from the Pudge hooks. And sure, I mean, maybe she can just stun when she gets hooked, but, you know, 1 or 2 hooks and that's going to be a dead Venge. So something you got to look out for, and I don't think there's any real carry pick right now that can negate that from happening. Pudge is always going to be in experience range because he's so dangerous. And Razor is going to be the pick for Throwing Pains. So they're not relying a lot on Ultralate. I don't think their Ultralate is as great against Glory Push mid, but that mid-game Razor is going to be super duper strong, and it's just going to be a matter of whether they can keep that static link up against anybody. Using it against the Wind Ranger is pretty sketchy because she's a mobile hero, might buy a 4-staff, will always have Wind Run to get away, and so there's different, you know, there's a lot of interactions that keep the Wind Ranger safe. But the Leshrac and whatnot, he's kind of going to be in the battle at all times, and I think the Razor can sap a lot of damage from either him or Pudge or something like that. So there's a lot of interesting counterplay here. I think the Razor is going to be doing a lot of damage in these fights, though. I don't think there's enough burst damage on the side of Glory Push mid to really shut him down. All right, let's switch the overlays over. I will not forget it this time. This is Grand Finals, baby. I gotta get my head in the game. But I'll introduce the teams here in a second, but gotta introduce my lovely, lovely stats lady, Lurkaderp. She'll be showing up eventually. She's actually at an airport right now waiting for a flight, and said she was going to be going through security, so I'm not sure if she's even on her computer right now, but she will be hopping on in a second to provide us with some wonderful, awesome Dota stats for this series. But I'd like to see the stats on Pudge vs. Razor. That's not something. Yeah, there she is. Alright, she's here. So, alright, so we got a 5-man push up and towards the jungle by Glory Push mid right off the bat. And I will introduce the teams after this comes out because shit's about to get real intense. But over on the side of Throwing Pains, they are ready for it, man. They're sitting right in the jungle. They know that there's something coming, and I think they spotted it out with Avenge there. They're ready to fight, and oh man, they've got the Tusk Snowball ready to go. But yeah, okay, they're using the Snowball. Actually, I would have gone Ice Shards in that scenario, just tried to block this off. But either way, fight breaking out here. A-Bomb up on the top. He's getting picked off, but gets the Cold Embrace to keep him alive for now. But they're chasing down the Tusk, but the Rot is not enough. Power Shot! Oh, almost finishes him off, but I think the reduced damage from it hitting the Avenge and the Razor first was enough to keep the Tusk alive. So all of that and no first blood spilled. And Wind Ranger finds herself a bounty rune and will be moving over towards the mid lane. So I thought Throwing Pains definitely had a fight there on their hands, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Oh man, so Tusk forced all the way back to mid lane, or all the way back to the fountain. He is going to be able to buy a portal scroll to get down to that bottom relatively easy, but we've got some janky form of an aggro try up here. Oh, not even an aggro try, an aggro duo with the Pudge and the Wyvern. Makes sense, but this could be trouble as our Wyvern gets picked off, and that is the first blood. Getting a little bit too aggressive, and the stuns from the Venge are just enough to shut that down. So, well played by Throwing Pains. They got themselves on the board 1-0. Now, alright, let's get back to introducing the teams, because I did not get to do that before all of that action broke out. Over on the side of Throwing Pains, we got Commander Schwegs, the head admin for Dota 2 here at the UGC League. He is going to be playing that Razor. We got Jargle playing the Silencer. Kashi on the Vengeful Spirit. Over on mid, we've got Gregor, another UGC admin. He's going to be taking the Queen of Pain. And down towards bottom lane, we have got Sam on the Tuskar. Over on the Radiant side, we've got GPM. They're going to be playing Smog on Pudge, Satinar on Winter Wyvern. Mid lane, we've got the Leshrac. Down on bottom, we've got the Lion, played by Zero Matter. And on the Wind Ranger, we've got Frisbee. Now, let's get the last hits and denies up here. Now, Lurka, can you get me some stats on Razor in the UGC League? I don't think this hero's been played much, if at all. Maybe past games of Throwing Pains. I'm trying hard to think of what scenarios that hero might come out in, but I just haven't seen it since 683 at all. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's a really suitable pick. I mean, a lot of GPM's Pudge is a 51% win rate against Razor this patch. Okay, but yeah, there's a lot of single target spells that are going to make it hard for GPM to really focus down this Razor in fights. Of course, you've got that passive on the Razor, the Unstable Current, and you slow both. Well, wait. Is it an attack speed? Oh, it purges buffs from it. Okay, for a second I thought it was an attack speed debuff as well, but no, it's just a movement speed, a purge, and a slow, which makes sense. And so I mean, you know, if the Wyvern wants to use the Cold Embrace, she's going to be slowed. If the Leshrac uses the Lightning, he's going to get slowed. The Wind Ranger uses Shackle or Focus Fire, she's going to get slowed. The Lion uses any of his abilities. It's really hard for GPM to get the initiation. They've got to throw a lot at Schwegs to make sure that they can get him before, well, after that slow wears off and they have the potential to start doing damage. And I'm curious if that Purge includes Focus Fire. I really doubt it does. That would be insanely OP. But yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Mid lane, let's check in on that. We've got the Queen of Pain about 7 last hits behind and is getting harassed down. Razor's just been played 34 times in this season of UGC, 8.7% of games, and has a 56% win rate in the league. Alright, so that's a lot more than I would have expected. Now, we've got a lot of divisions here in the UGC. We've got a European division, we've got a South American division, we've got a few North American divisions, Invite and Open. So there's a lot of teams and a lot of games, but that is still more games than I expected. Looks like we had a Venge rotation down towards bottom, looking for that Wind Ranger, but doesn't quite find her, and the Venge is going to be forced to skitter on back to base, and we'll be living out her days back there. Yeah, this mid lane isn't going as well for the Queen of Pain. Like I said, the harass advantage is definitely in Leshrac's favor, and man, this hero is just ridiculous. But I think if Gregor can kind of keep up on last hits evenly enough, when he hits level 6, he should have the burst damage. Like Leshrac, almost level 7 or almost level 6, sorry, and under 700 HP. And Queen of Pain, she's got a 225 damage nuke and then a 325 damage nuke plus some auto attacks. I think that is pretty close to a dead Lesh. So we'll see what happens. But Bud's trying to maintain his mana up here for some hooks. He's got a Clarity going, but doesn't want to show himself for fear of that getting cancelled. So Wyvern just taking some last hits, and Razor playing really, really scared. So they know that Lion's missing. Maybe they saw the smoke with this ward. I'm not entirely sure. But knowing that the Lion is smoked and knowing that the Lion's missing. Oh, and the supports are going to find each other in the river here. Are we going to have a stun out on the Lion? They're going to keep searching for it. Will Kashi go for it? Looks like he was going to throw it, but stop cancels it at the last second. And it looks like both of those ganks are going to be nullified here. The Lion was swooping around to try to look for the Wind Ranger, and at the same time, the Venge and the Silencer were coming back around here. So Sentry Ward dropped to try to deward the cliffs, but of course no wards up there. There is one up here. Kashil? Kashil. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Kashil.
Regeneration.
One's L's and I's all look the same. The English language sucks. Need a better alphabet. Oh, a hook onto Commander Schwegs. Will they be able to bring him down before he gets out of this, though? He's going to static link up, try to steal some damage, but the stun comes in from the Venger, trying to turn it back around. Cold Embrace going to keep the Pudge alive for now, and the Razor is going to be forced away. Selfs up immediately, hoping that maybe he can get back into that fight, but not in time. That Wyvern Pudge is a nasty, nasty combo, and you just can't afford to go on the Pudge. I mean, you have to fight the Wyvern, and even then she can Cold Embrace herself, but you know, threatening her into doing that is the only real way to make something happen in that fight, or else the Pudge just gets he gets healed. That's what it is.
Missing bottom.
And is that a flat heal or a percentage heal? Yeah, that's a max health regen, so that's going to be doing work on Pudge in the late game for sure. I mean, once he stacks up to 3, maybe 4k health if he gets lucky, that heal is going to be insane. I can't crunch the numbers because I'm stupid as hell and my mental math sucks, but I'm sure it's a lot. We'll put it that way. Anyways, looks like Gregor wants to go in on this. He's got his supports rotating in, but Lion gets found out in the trees again, coordinating ganks, and there's no way this Lion gets out of this one. Last word is going to finish him off, but the Leshrac comes in, gets 2 kills with his ultimate, and he is continuing on. The creeps doing work against Jargle. Will he be able to bring him down? Oh my god! Triple kill. Actually, oh, that teleport. Alright, was that a triple for the Lesh? No. Wait, who killed... Oh. Wait, who killed the Silencer? Oh, Silencer was just killed. Okay, Silencer was killed by creeps. Alright, so double kill for the Leshrac. Silencer dies as well, but in total, that was a 4-for-1, as up on top lane, they picked off the Razor after they saw that the supports were gone. So big plays here by GPM, getting themselves a huge early advantage, and that is all the kills that they've got in this game on the board coming in at once. So, beautiful.
Missing bottom.
Anyways, we got the Queen of Pain coming up for some revenge kills, and the Quap is what they need to break that Wyvern. Oh, Courier gets spotted. Who are they going to go for? They want the Wyvern. She's flying into the trees right now and using that flying... Oh, man. Beautiful maneuver there. Flies over into the trees and gets hooked out by Pudge. So, knowing that she wasn't going to have that flying maneuver ability for much longer, gets that hook, gets her out of danger, and super well played, avoiding that Queen of Pain gank. They keep their Courier safe, who was coming into a dangerous territory as well, and they all walk away. Down in the bottom lane, haven't been paying too much attention to this lane. The Tusk, like I said, teleported into mid to finish off that Leshrac, but oh, it's going to be trouble now. The Shackle Shot into the Lesh stun, and you might as well not even finish that teleport. Yeah, Kashil is going to get finished off as well, as that Leshrac damage just too potent, and the ultimate plus the lightning is going to finish her off. Bottom tower going to face some pressure. They've got a Fortify available, but I don't think that's going to matter. Top lane, another hook in on Commander Schwegs, and Gregor going for action on Sadanar, but he's not going to be able to bring him down in time. The Cold Embrace keeps him alive once again, and oh my god, the hook. Smog playing out of his mind, grabs another one, and that is double kill for him on the top lane. 2-0-1 on the Pudge, and does Wyvern have any kills for name? Yeah, 1-1-2, so... this offlane is doing work. I really like this combo, and you know, my team has experimented with the Wyvern +1 offlane as well. I mean, you run that with an Undying, with a Tusk, with anything that really just kind of goes ham on the enemy, and it works out great. And we're seeing that exact thing here this game. We got the Pudge, we got the Wyvern, and just the kill potential is so deadly. They're having a hard time making this safe lane work, and the Razor's TP'd out. He's going to another lane, and you know, early game advantage going the way of GPM. Up on top, what do we got? 10-minute hook count, 5 of 5. So he's thrown 5 hooks, hit all 5. Are we sure about that? I thought he missed one. I thought I saw him miss one. Maybe not. Oh, he gets another 6 for 6. Grabs Kashil, and that's going to be easy kill there for him. Leshrac makes his way into this midst of this fight. Now the Tusk goes in ape on the Wyvern, but is going to get finished off himself. Now the Queen of Pain throws out her ultimate, but has no way to blink back out of that. Dismember is going to go down. Are the auto attacks enough to finish off Quap before she gets out? Yes, it is. Silencer trying to finish off the Lesh. He does, but the Pudge turns it back around on Silencer. So a total 3 for 3 in that messy engagement up on the top lane. But who comes out on top of XP? Yeah, it's definitely GPM there, as I think the trades... Oh, actually... Oh yeah, the Venge died as well, so it was actually 4 for 3. I didn't remember that. So gold change almost even, but over 1,000 XP going the way of GPM, as I think Throwing Pains' heroes were dying first in those engagements, so the XP was going to more heroes on the side of GPM. But crazy, crazy, crazy. Down the bottom lane, Wind Ranger finds a good shackle on the Razor and gets the kill, but will she get out? No, she won't, as that Silencer chases her down, gets her with the auto attacks, and knocks himself up a couple of intel. Wind Ranger going for a little bit of an interesting build, not favoring the Eggs first, as we've seen so many Wind Rangers doing lately. Instead, just going straight for the Chrysalis, wants that early damage, and I think this is probably just going to be a casual Chrysalis into the Aghanim Scepter from here. I think this just gives you a lot of early kill potential, whereas the Eggs kind of gives you a lot of early push potential. So it kind of depends on what you want to do with your game, but it's working out for them here. Alright, let's watch Smog. He's looking for another hook. He smells blood in the water. He knows there's a Venge up here. And what are they going to find? Looking into the trees. Oh, this is going to be it. Oh! Just barely misses. That fancy Dragonclaw hook flying a little bit south. And Commander Schweggs remains safe for now. But what's that? 6 for 7? It's definitely a missed hook. But Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the hooks you don't take, so might as well throw them out there, especially when you got that Soul Ring. Now, we've got the Lion. He finds himself amidst the angry Tusk, and he's going to get finished off there. Sadnar going to try to TP out in the hook. But what? Oh my god! Oh, I'm sorry, that laugh was just obnoxious, but holy hell! The Winter Wyvern gets out on the TP, and the Pudge hooks him back from Fountain. So I guess the Fountain hook doesn't work, but you can definitely hook someone back from Fountain. And it's funny because hook will... Alright, Snowball in onto the Lesh. They actually missed the Ice Shards, but this Lesh is going to be facing a lot of damage anyways. They're chasing down there. 5 heroes in deep, and the Tusk is going to go down. The Pudge turns it back around, finds a Queen of Pain, and the Lion will find himself a Venge. But this could be dangerous for Zero Matter. He's got to find himself a juke spot in the trees, and sure enough, he's looking for it, but Schweggs tries to cut him off. Will he find a way out of this? I don't think so, but the Wind Ranger going for a power shot, goes for a jog. Oh my god, the Shackle catches them both, and he's going to focus fire the Razor, getting those priority targets, and there we go. Razor goes down, looking for Jargle as well. Can he find another power shot? I think he needs one more attack before he lands the power shot. He's going to throw it. Oh, just barely misses, and the Silencer gets out. 4 for 3 up on the top lane there, as GPM find themselves another favorable exchange. It looks like Throwing Pain actually made more gold on that. Actually, they made more gold and XP despite losing an extra hero. Interesting fight. Huh, okay. Yeah, what a weird fight, but either way, man, that freaking Fountain hook, I can't get over that. That was so good. Because the Pudge hook does not cancel TPs if it's on an ally, but it does if it's on an enemy. So he hooks the Wyvern and displaces her without without canceling the TP. That's special.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I wonder if teams could perfect that to fill up bottles and stuff. It's interesting, but Diabolic Edict going up on the top lane, and this tier 1 tower is going to be going down. The Fortify was used just to stall it out for a little bit, but yeah, that's going to be it. And there we go. Top tier 1 goes down, and Throwing Pains have lost themselves 3 tier 1 towers, while all 3 remain on the side of GPM. So definitely not good stats that you want to be hearing on if you're Throwing Pains, but they're trying to rally, trying to make things happen. Ooh, that Shackle could have been so dangerous. I think if she had thrown it forward onto the Vengeful, instead of throwing it onto the Creep, she would have definitely gotten a kill on one of them there. I think that would have lashed to the Razor, is what I'm saying. A-Bomb up on the top lane, gets hooked out. Oh man, these Pudge hooks. And there's going to be a Tusk Punch out on a Creep. Kill on the Vengeful Spirit as the Cold Embrace, or the Winter's Curse rather, was used there. Sorry, I choked a little bit there. But Smog chasing in, finds a kill onto the Tusk and the Venge, and now Throwing Pains looking for the Winter Wyvern. Does she have a plan of escape? I don't know. She's going to throw that Shard Blast, and actually is turning it back around onto Gregor. Meanwhile, the Razor bringing down, or trying to bring down the Wind Ranger, but she escapes from that. And Wyvern's still just sitting in the trees here. Spotted out by our H creep. Yeah, she'll be getting out. Man, these fights are so weird. And I think it's just because of the Pudge. The fights are just happening on so many different fronts. Like, you know, we got a fight going on over here, we got a fight going on down in here, and then we got another one going on in here, and it's just hard to keep track of, but definitely a fun game to be casting so far. I'm really enjoying this. The Pudge pick has not only been entertaining, but has been successful, and GPM is looking at a very good setup for the rest of their game. Hook in onto Sam. That was an easy one, and big stun there by A-Bomb to finish it off. So Tusk gets picked off on the mid lane, and now Throwing Pains looking a little bit timid about their defending their tier 2. They really don't want that Pudge to be picking them off, and we see him moving forward already. Will he find one on Kashil? Long range, but he jukes it. Good move to go back and then continue on my wayward son. Top tier 2 going to face some pressure here. Frisbee is up on the tower, not using the focus fire quite yet. Going to throw the power shot, harass down the wave a little bit, and we'll see if she commits the power shot. Doesn't have the eggs, of course, so that is a bit of a longer cooldown. Might want to be saving that for heroes instead of towers, but has gone for the blink dagger instead of the eggs, like I mentioned. Yeah, didn't even need the focus fire. Wind Ranger gets the kill on the tower, and that's going to be the first tier 2 of the game, falling on the side of Throwing Pains. Not what they're wanting, and you know, their Queen of Pain is just severely underfarmed. Hasn't found the ganks that she wanted to get early on, and has just kind of been a part of these ridiculously early brawls, trying to fight, but it's just not happening. And you know, on her way to an Orchid Malevolence, but she's only got less than half of that, and it's not looking good for the Quap. The Silencer has picked up a few kills, actually 16 stolen intel on the bank, so that's actually really good for a support Silencer. Also sitting on top of a mechanism, so a lot of sustainability that she brings, or that he brings to the team. But whether or not that translates into good team fights is another question, and we have seen that it's not quite happening. And I mean, I think a lot of it is because this Pudge is kind of picking apart the team of Throwing Pains. You know, they all want to stay together. They want to keep the... Ooh, Sam gets... yeah. Not going to spend the focus fire. They just get the shackle right into the dismember, and that's a kill. Mid lane, the Razor... Or, sorry, yeah, the Razor and the Venge are chasing down onto this Leshrac, but they're not going to bring him down, and the pipe is there to negate a little bit of that last word damage at the end there. But, yeah, I mean... This GPM lineup is just so good at picking apart Throwing Pains' team. I mean, the Wind Ranger, she's finding these shackles left and right. You know, the second somebody steps away from their team, it is a shackle into a focus fire into immediate death. And, of course, that Pudge, whoever he's roaming with, whether it be the Wyvern, whether it be the Lion, whether it be the Leshrac, if he finds a hook, someone is dead. And, I mean, we've seen that multiple times. The Tusk has gotten hooked, the Venge has gotten hooked, the Razor's gotten hooked. Everyone has been taking a little bit of damage from this Pudge, so it's really hard to keep a team together and use that mech to great effect when you've got a hero like that on the enemy team. But Tusk going a little bit ham here, ends up shackled to the tree, and the focus fire is going to go down. Winter's Curse thrown on the Tusk as well, so everybody held down for a second. The Sonic Wave is good. The stick will keep, or sorry, the mechanism will keep Gregor alive for the next little while. Venge looking for Zero Matter in the trees here, going to swap him out of that TP, and the Lion is going to fall. Another shackle out onto the Silencer, but Frisbee doesn't have much left in the tank. No mana, no focus fire to speak of, and the blink forward from the Queen of Pain. Will she be able to bring the Wind Ranger down? She does indeed. 3 for 1 in that engagement, and Throwing Pains, once they manage to get their entire team together and use that mechanism properly, they found kills, and it's going to be a 3 for 1 engagement. You know, the Tusk went ham, but his entire team was behind him, and they managed to keep the fight contained to these trees instead of fighting it on 3 different fronts, as I mentioned before. So well played there. Hook in onto Commander Schwegs, and a stun to follow it up. That's going to be a kill. Ooh. Fudge Smug's most played hero, 703 matches, and he has a 64.3% win rate on the hero. Current hook count, 10 out of 14. Yeah, this is, you can tell this is a specialty hero here. 11 out of 15, yeah, gets another one on the Razor there. But yeah, no, Smog has been playing out of his mind. The hooks have been great. All of them almost at max range. And just bringing the entertainment here. I'm wondering if we're going to see a respect ban in the next series, because this Pudge is, like I said, he's picking them apart. He's the reason that Throwing Pains are not winning this game right now. Because Shield going to walk right into the face of the Butcher. Turns to stun. Not going to get the chance, though. The Focus Fire, the Dismember, and that is a dead Vengeful Spirit. Orchid Malevolence finally picked up on the Queen of Pain, but is it going to be enough to turn this game around? I don't know. I don't even know if the silence is that great against GPM's team. I mean, the Wind Ranger, she does a lot of damage even without her abilities. Maybe you stop her from using a Focus Fire, but what the hell ever, man. And the Leshrac, if he turns on his abilities, if he gets the Edict and the Pulse Nova going, the silence isn't going to really stop him from doing much. It's just going to force him to do more damage, which I guess expends more mana. But at this point, he's got a Bloodstone and 8 charges. He doesn't care. Same thing with Smog. You silence the Pudge, sure, okay, he's got a Rot, but he's just going to keep walking at you with the Rot on. It's whatever. And, you know, Wyvern and Lion, sure, you can silence them out, but what's that really matter? You're not going to be able to get to those heroes. Their positioning has been great, and the Pudge and the Leshrac have been up front. But Tusk is going in on the back lines. They want to bring down this Leshrac, but the Glimmer Cape keeps him alive for now. Razor's trying to sap that damage away from the Pudge, but the Sonic Wave, it's good. It hits 3, but no, the Power Shot comes in from behind, catches the Queen of Pain. 3 down on Throwing Pains, 4 down now, and they're looking for more. Where is the Vengeful Spirit? Oh, man, wow. Jukes herself around on the other side of the field, and we'll make her way over towards her Tier 2 tower. I think she's going to get out of this one safe. Power Shot spots her out. They're looking for her. Oh, blink forward, and Shackle, it's going to hit her, but it doesn't latch it. Oh my god, the hook from Smog into the Dismember. Full 5-man wipe for 1 from GPM. Super well played there. Throwing Pains feeling the pain as they get torn apart by an engagement that they thought they were going to win. They went into that fight expecting to be able to pick GPM apart. They had the Queen of Pain and the Tusk coming in from the back lines. They had the Razor coming in from over here. The Silencer was right behind him with the Mechanism, but it didn't matter. They just played it super well. GPM had that pipe up. They had the survivability on everybody, and the only casualty of that fight was the Lion. So, well played by GPM, and they're going to move into the Roche Pit after this. They find a regen rune for the Leshrac, so that is just infinite mana for the next little while, and he's got his Eul Scepter coming out as well. Eul Scepter going to be huge on this hero. I mean, he doesn't even need the Pudge to set up his stuns anymore. Just finds the Euls, gets the stun, and that's going to be able to lock down a lot of these heroes, like the Queen of Pain, like the Silencer, and keep them from using the abilities that would otherwise save their life, like the Mechanism and the Blink. Smoke from Throwing Pains here, though. They're moving into the Roche Pit. They want to make sure that this is secure, but they're just going to start working on it themselves. And the Venge, she's going to get hooked. No way she gets out of that one, but is Throwing Pains going to continue on with the Roshan? They might. Sam has taken a lot of damage from this, though, and if GPM just walk back into this pit, it's going to be ugly. And they find Jargle. Good shackle to the trees. I don't think he's going to survive long enough to use his Mechanism. Maybe he does. Yeah, he gets to use it. But, oh my god, the hook by Smog. Throws it over the cliff. Catches the Tusk. And that is 3 heroes down. Throwing Pains in, in a lot of pain. They're having a rough time. And now moving on to the Roshan for themselves. Full Aghanim Scepter completed on the Wind Ranger, and one about to be completed on Smog here. And with all the stolen, well, not stolen, but all of the stacked up strength he's got here, 21 stacks of Flesh Heap equal to 53 bonus strength. His ulti is going to be hitting hard. And, I mean, what can Throwing Pains do at this point? I mean, I think they just have to try to stick together as 5 and fight, but it's so hard when things like this keep happening. You just take 2 steps out of your base, and this Wind Ranger is blinking behind you, shackling you to trees, and the Pudge hooks do not stop! 2 more down, and I think this is going to be a set of racks. I don't know how you defend this with the Razor and the Vengeful dead. It's just not possible. Of course, we got that Diabolic Edict as well, which is going to shred through this tower. And Creep Wave a little further back, so the Venge is going to spawn in time to assist in this push, or assist in this counter push, rather. But even then, I think 4v5, they walk right up that hill. I mean, they've got the Aegis on the Leshrac. He can just charge in there, ulti blazing, and it doesn't matter what he does from that point on. As long as he gets in the middle of a fight, does a ton of damage, even if he dies, what the hell ever. But alright, Razor going to spawn. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but they're going up the hill anyways. Diabolic Edict chipping away at this tower. Good positioning by A-Bomb to make sure he's sitting right in the middle of that ramp, because if he's sitting a little too far off to the side, he'll start hitting this building with it as well. Hook onto Kashyl, easy pick, and the Venge dies again. Yes, Nerukad. Yes, it is a best. It is a 3 out of 5. That would be the little tick indicators up here. First 1 to 3 games wins this. This is the grand finals of the UGC League. NA Steel. I don't actually know what the prize is, but I will talk to the admins after and find out what that is so I can inform you guys. But oh my god, the shackles are so good. Sam gets finished off there. The Razor is gone. Gregor's going to blink out, but Jargle might be in trouble himself. Gets used up. Going to be a stun out by A-Bomb. He's going to go in, try to finish the job. Doesn't matter. His Aegis get popped, but that is a full 5-man wipe by Throwing Pains, or on Throwing Pains, and GPM walk away from that with nothing more than an Aegis expended. Racks are going to fall without a doubt, and maybe they go for a second set as well with so many dead. Hook flies out, doesn't catch Kashyl, but what does it matter? Racks are still going to go down. And we'll see what they do after this. I think they could force another set if they want to get bloody, but I think the safe route is to just back out. Looking for hooks, doesn't find it. And, oh, they find a Yules anyways. Oh, but the stun is not good. They swap A-Bomb back into the tower, and with the stun, maybe he falls to the tier 4 towers. No, the Cold Embrace is good, but there's the Winter's Curse. It's gonna catch 2. Wham, bam, thank you, man. There's the Wombo combo, and Throwing Pains drop 3 again, and there's the GG. They're not gonna take it anymore. Smog's Pudge, and who's playing the Wind Ranger? Frisbee's Wind Ranger, just too friggin' good this game. Final hook count 17 out of 23. I think that's a damn well respectable score, and wow, what a game. I mean, the skill shots were just so on point that game. That shackle at the end that latched the Razor and the Silencer together was the key right at the end, and man, beautiful, beautiful play by Glory Push Mid. I love to see it. Such skillful execution in everything they did. The Pudge hooks were great. The Wind Ranger shackles were great. The Leshrac, he was landing stuns even without the Yule Scepter. The Lion, he was really good in his support role. Stayed further back. Wyvern, same thing. Beautiful play by GPM. They take game number 1, and we're going to be heading straight into a game number 2. Like I said, this is a best 3 of 5, so there are still plenty of games to come. Hopefully 4 more. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to throw it to an overlay. We're going to get the lobby set up for game number 2, and we will be back in just 10 to 15 minutes. Actually, not even. Maybe 5 to 10. Stick around, grab yourself a glass of water, whatever. Come back for the UGC League. I've been Captain Canuck, joined by Lurkader, and we will be back in just a couple minutes. Cheers. Okay, alright, I switched to the webcam, but I forgot to unmute myself. How you guys doing? This is going to be game number 2 of Throwing Pains versus GPM. What does GPM stand for? Glory Push Mid. Haha. Yeah, slipped my mind for a second there. But we're going to be loading into the game right now. Game number 1. Man, what a freaking game that was. We saw some crazy Wind Ranger play by Frisbee and some crazy awesome Pudge play by Smug. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. We had a hook counter going, 17 out of 23 hooks over the course of the game, and I can thoroughly say that the off-lane Pudge Wyvern won GPM that game. It was beautiful. It was well played. It was just an astounding execution, and man, I am so stoked to see what they bring in this game. Glory Push has requested first pick for game number 2, so maybe they're trying to grab themselves that Pudge again. I sure hope so, man. This, so exciting. But we'll see as we get back into the draft. Let's get off of my ugly face here, and there we go. Bam. End of the draft we are. Bloodseeker going to be the first banned out by Glory Push Mid, and Leshrac banned out by Throwing Pains. They felt the wrath of the Lesh in the last game too. I mean, you know, the Lesh definitely wasn't the dominant roaming force that he usually is. That was more the Pudge and the Wind Ranger. But, I mean, Lesh still definitely won his lane, crushed the Queen of Pain that was supposed to be roaming and getting a lot of kills, and just made it really hard for Gregor to move around the map and support the rest of his lanes, which were arguably having a very, very rough time. So there's so the Lesh not going to be making an appearance in this game, but Glory Push Mid taking some time to think about their second ban here, dropping themselves into their reserve time a little bit, wondering what they don't want to face. And there's still plenty of meta picks left to get rid of. The Queen of Pain, one of them, and sure enough, there she is. It gets taken out of the pool. You know, there's still Gyro. There's still what's his nuts? Undying. Undying's still in. I don't know. Who else is OP right now?
10 seconds remaining.
I can't remember, man.
5 seconds remaining.
It's been weird. A lot of the heroes that dominated this patch really early on are not anymore, and so it's kind of been an odd shift between like banning Undying first in every game to sometimes he doesn't even get picked or banned. So, you know, there's some of that coming into play, but alright, sorry. I was shooting a message off. So I was talking to the admins between games, trying to figure out what the prize was for this division, and the prize for this division is a direct invite to the Invite division for next season. And the Invite division is where the cash prize is, a $500 plus, I believe, ticket sales cash prize for the winner of the Invite division. So that is definitely a prize worth having, and both of these teams going to be fighting really hard to get themselves into Invite for next season, because that's where the top teams play. I've been casting Invite all league, or for the entire season, and it's been a blast. The teams are so good, so intense. I mean, this is it's creme de la creme. It's they are the top of the amateur scene. These guys are the ones that are going to be breaking into the pro scene next. So you know, getting a chance to play against those guys is huge. And if you can take wins off of them, then that means even more. But I was talking about that Undying, and sure enough, gets picked up there. Now I was talking to the Evans as well about their draft last game, and they were saying that the Witch Doctor ban was just based off of research they did on Glory Push Mid. GPM really likes their Witch Doctor pick in almost every game, and so that's why it's been first banned out. Throwing Pains has nothing against the Witch Doctor personally, but they're going to pick up the Gyrocopter to try to deal with that Undying, and rightfully so. That is probably one of the best heroes for dealing with it. And another hero who I found is surprisingly good at dealing with Undying is Beastmaster, because once you get a Necro book up, even just level 1, you just summon Necrobook and your Boar, and you just send them at the Tombstone, and you let them deal with the Tombstone while the rest of your team fights. And it actually equates to pretty quick deaths on the zombies, and if the other team wants to stop you, they've got to take that 500 pure damage to the face, which is it's definitely hard for a team to justify doing that to save the tombstone, but you know, it's a good pickup. Vengeful Spirit is going to be the choice by Throwing Pains, though. We saw Kashil run that last game, and he did not get a chance to show us what he's got. He was getting picked apart by that Pudge, and the alliteration is real here tonight. But yeah, the Venge just having such a rough time, could not get herself away from those hooks, and so we'll see if that comes back into effect this game. But Silencer picked up by GPM here, so going to try to take away a... actually, wait.
5 seconds
Did they have the Silencer?
remaining.
No, they didn't. They had the... Yeah, they had Lion, Wyvern, and the Silencer was on the side of Throwing Pains alongside that Vengeful Spirit. So, going to take that pick away from Throwing Pains, and now we're into the second stage of ban. We'll see if that Pudge gets banned out here, because I would not put it past Throwing Pains to pick that again, especially with the lineup they have. I mean, if you get the Wyvern Pudge again on top of a Gyro Venge,
Radiant team back.
it's ugly. It gets ugly. I mean, Winter's Curse with the Gyro Calldown can be so deadly.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alright, so Spirit Breaker going to be the ban by Throwing Pains here. They're
Reserve time.
both teams taking a while to consider these bans, and we'll see if Throwing Pains is ready to get rid of that Pudge. I don't think there's going to be a Pudge again. I don't know. The Undying pick kind of tells me that the offlane position has been taken. So if they want to run that Pudge, they got to run it mid, and I think that Throwing Pains can draft to beat that. I think there's a lot of heroes that'll just kind of roll over Pudge on the mid lane. So maybe they're not scared of it, but I mean, just that performance. Like, there are some heroes that you just shouldn't let some players have, and you know, we've seen in the past TIs and stuff, you know, teams banning out the Pudge against Dendy, and it just comes down to like a, well, he could do it, and it would really mess us up if he did, so, alright. But Glory Push mid, banning out a couple offlaners that they're a little bit afraid of there, the Broodmother and the Centaur. Broodmother, of course, eats Silencer alive. There is no way Silencer comes out of that lane without a couple deaths, so good call banning that out. And that kind of tells me that Glory Push mid is prepared to only have a single support. I think they're going to tie they're going to drop the Undying in with something else on the offlane. They're going to run duos because the Silencer, he's really good at locking down a few supports. He's really good at locking down Phoenix. He's good against Clockwork. He's good against a few other heroes like that, but he's really not good against, you know, another few. The Broodmother especially. The Centaur is really good against the Silencer because he's got a 0-mana spell that he can just use to harass the Silencer back. Like, there's a lot of counterplay there, so I think Silencer +1 for Glory mid on the safe lane, and then Undying +1 in the off lane. But we'll see how the draft progresses. Throwing Pains going to go for the Dazzle as their second support here, so they got a lot of minus armor amongst their two supports, and we'll see if they continue to draft towards that. Perhaps a Shadow Fiend mid would work wonders for them, and I don't imagine there's... Well, what could I don't think there's anything Glory Push mid could really pick right now that would counter a Shadow Fiend. I mean, Shadow Fiend's two primary counters right now are Leshrac and Queen of Pain, and both of those are already banned out. So I think, since you've already got a minus armor draft, you got a lot of physical damage, plus there's nothing that really counters it. I think the Shadow Fiend is the pick here, but they're going to go for Alina, so they want to throw in some magic damage there. Of course, they got the Pure with the ultimate as well, but yeah, not going the direction I thought they were going to go for, and that's definitely going to be their mid. I don't see any other way that plays out. So Lina going to be on the mid lane, and Venge Dazzle Gyro in the safe, and then they'll have to pick their off lane here. Now the Warlock pick by Glory Push mid, this is really interesting. I'm curious how they want to run this. Perhaps it's going to be a mid Warlock, trying to farm up that Aghanims as quick as possible, but I don't know. Maybe they run the Silencer mid and then put the Warlock on a support role. I don't know. I think to run a Warlock, you really need to get him that that Aghanim Scepter. you know, whether he's in a support role and you feed him a bunch of early farm to get him a Midas or something like that, or whether he's in a core role and you just straight up farm him. He needs to get an Ags, he needs to get a refresher to be relevant to the game, because he just doesn't do enough past 10 minutes without, you know, those double golems. So we'll see how this plays out, but the other crazy thought I'm having here is that Glory Push mid drafts themselves an Alchemist, and I despise Alchemist in all of my drafts. I know he's not a very popular hero. His win rate is in the dumpster, but they have 4 heroes that all have pretty damn good Aghanims interactions, and they're missing a 1 position.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's likely. I think it's maybe not likely. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. I would put that hero's chances higher over most other carries right now, but I'm not totally convinced. I'd say it's a great pick if the hero wasn't trash. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I think Alchemist has little to no potential in the meta nowadays. But if you can run a gimmicky draft like this and get that first eggs up really quick and give it to Warlock, you could just run around the map with Warlock and Undying and just drop tombstones and rocks on people's faces. And the Alchemist can just use that room to farm the rest of the map for days. He can just do whatever he wants. So I think that's a possibility. I'm really curious. I don't know.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, can't hear me in game.
5 seconds
Open mic is on. Larka, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Larka? Interesting stat. The first 2 picks include the most banned and the most picked heroes of 684. Gyrocopter and Undying. Yeah, Larka, can you give me an update on the audio? Can you hear me in-game? I want to make sure I'm not stiffing the people in Dota TV. I've got the open mic set, so there shouldn't be any problems. But I don't know.
5 seconds remaining.
Dusky on the throwing pins. Okay, alright, so they got their offlane. Not something totally unexpected. I think that works really well against a lot of the heroes on Glory Push mid. Silencer, the Lion, the Warlock, all pretty damn squishy to that Tusk Punch. So, actually, the fact that I'm not getting a response probably means she can't hear me. So we will look into that. Let's jump over the options here, yeah. Enable open mic, re-enable.
10 seconds.
Hello. Hello.
5 seconds remaining.
Troll Warlord. Alright. So, equally trolly pick, but not Alchemist. This draft is looking a little scary, I'm gonna say. Now, I'm curious to see who goes mid, whether it's the Warlock or the Silencer. I think we'll see from the picks here. But, as Zero Matter, definitely gonna be supporting. Crap, I really don't want... Can you hear me in game? I hope Dota TV isn't broken. Alright, well, we will see. Throwing Pain's draft, like I said, pretty straightforward. Tusk in the offlane, Lena mid, Venge Dazzle supporting the gyro, and probably stacking as well. I mean, I don't think there's going to be too much lane... yeah. Oh, they've got the Undying to worry about, so I think the supports will be confined to the lane relatively decently, but... Yeah, I got the pop-up showing up here. Lurk, are you sure you're not crazy? You sure you don't have, like, mute code broadcaster set or something? Oh, we got the shot bug. Never experienced this bug in my life, but apparently it's a thing, and... Skymall OP. So yeah, we were talking about this beforehand, but Lurkader, my lovely stats lady, she's in an airport right now on airport Wi-Fi, statting for me. So we were joking about how she needed a dual monitor setup, and we are like, just go to Sky Mall, they have everything. And sure enough, pausing for shopping at Sky Mall. And anyways, let's introduce the teams while we got to pause here because I have a feeling this game is going to kick off with some intense action like it did last game. Gregor is going to be taking that Lena off towards the mid lane. Sam's going to be playing the Tusk. We got Commander Schwegs on the Gyrocopter, Jargle, and Kashil on Dazzle and Vengeful Spirit, respectively. Over on the side of GPM, we've got A-Bomb taking the Warlock, and that's going to be a mid-Warlock for sure. Frisbee on the Troll Warlord, going to be playing the one position. Smog on Silencer, Zero Matter on Lion, and Sadnar on the Undying. So it looks like this is actually going to be an aggro tri-lane with the Silencer farming while the Lion and the Undying support him. So interesting take on this aggro tri here, but I'm really liking how GPM has been building all of their drafts. I mean, both games they've built around an aggressive lane. In last game it was just a Pudge and a Wyvern, but this game they're going all out with the Lion, with the Undying, and the Silencer. And I don't think that it's going to be very easy for Throwing Pains to contest that lane. I mean, they've got the survivability of the Dazzle to kind of keep the Gyro alive, but do they really have any damage to turn engagements around when they come up? I don't think so. Like, I think once that Tombstone gets dropped, Silencer's just going to apply so much of his damage over time that there's not going to be enough left in the tank to keep any of these heroes alive. So it's going to be a rough game, but we'll see how the lane plays out. Now, we've got the 3 from GPM down here ready to swoop in, and we might have a 3-on-4 engagement. Alright, now they see all 5 moving, so GPM surrender the bottom bounty rune and just let Frisbee grab the top. He's going to head up towards top and farm up on his own against what will eventually be the Tusk when he makes his way up here. Questions about the prize pool. This division does not have a prize pool, but instead the winner gets an invite to the division that does have a prize pool next season, which is the North American Invite Division, which is the top league in the UGC. I've been casting that all season. It's been great games, so the winner of this will automatically be in the Invite Division next season, which does have a prize pool of a base prize pool of, I believe, $500, and then it goes up with ticket sales from there. So definitely some money behind this, but you know, it's a relatively small league. I think all of the funding comes straight out of the admin's pockets. Like, these guys have put this league together because they love Dota. I don't believe we have any... Oh, I forgot my overlays. I will fix that right now. But yeah, I don't believe any of the... there are any corporate or hardware sponsors or anything like that. I think this is all just out of pocket because these guys love Dota too. So these admins are amazing, wonderful people, and I mean, that's why I've continued to work with them. They're the best. This is the league that you want to be a part of if you want to play Dota, and definitely check it out. But up on top, Troll Warlord gonna smack away at Tusk, and I think this is a really rough lane for Tusk. Like, maybe he sneaks in for a last hit here or there, but for the most part, Troll Warlord is just gonna dominate him. And we can see that there. Every time Frisbee gets a chance, runs forward, throws an axe, chips him down a little bit, and Tusk is already pretty damn low on mana. Bottom lane, we're still not seeing anything really break out. Expected this matchup to get a lot more scrappy a lot quicker than it has, but all 3 heroes kind of just staring down the barrel at each other. Stun goes out on Smog, but they're just going to pop the Tombstone and chase right in immediately after, and they're going on the Gyrocopter. They want to bring him down. There's only a heal available from the Dazzle. There is no Shallow Grave, and there we go. First blood, easy peasy on the Gyrocopter. They just run at him and bring him down. So Undying grabs, or sorry, Lion got the kill there. So Lion gets the first blood. And that's some flying courier gold there. He's going to spend it on boots. Whatever. Mid lane, Warlock farming away, and he's doing alright. Actually, he's doing better than alright. He is top of the last hit charts. And what? Top lane, we had the Tusk and the Lena go for some action on the Troll Warlord, and it looks like he just tried to turn it around and beat down the Tusk. Tusk walks away from that with less than 50 HP, but Lena gets herself a kill, and 1-to-1 the kill totals as Throwing Pains pick themselves up one early on. Now A-Bomb, like I said, he's got himself a pretty good advantage here on this mid lane, and you can't underestimate the right-click damage of a Warlock. I mean, it's pretty insane. 71 plus 3 at base is really good for an int hero of his type. Now I know he's a couple levels up, and he's got sorry, and he's got the Null Talisman, but he's got a considerable advantage in this lane right now. 9 last hits over the opposing Lina. Now, it looks like they switched a little bit. They're going to throw the Gyrocopter up towards top to try to deal with the Troll Warlord, a little bit better of a matchup, and then they're going to let the Tusk brawl it out on bottom lane. But is that going to work out for him as Kashyyyl is getting eaten alive by zombies? There is going to be a shallow grave, but is that going to matter? These zombies are going to chase him out of the tower. So is the Undying. There we go. One more auto attack, and he's done. Are they going to continue to chase? Sam gets gets hit by the last word, and a couple more attacks. There we go. Silencer gets the kill, transferring the tower aggro really nicely there between Sadnar and Zero Master, and they both walk out with slivers of life, but you know, that's all they really need, and Salve getting popped off on the Undying. So a couple really good kills there, and GPM's aggressive tri-lane is working for him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, Warlock going for an interesting build here. He's got 3 points Shadow Word and then 2 points in stats, I believe. Did he go stats? 6. Yeah, he went stats. He went stats. So, wait, 4 to all attributes, 6 to ints. He's got, yeah, he went stats. So, I was wondering if he was just holding the points. Sometimes I've seen players do that, but I don't know. It's there's a couple of heroes where I think holding skill points is really, really valuable. My team has been experimenting with a interesting take on Sven, in fact, where you just put points in your stun and then you hold the rest of your skill points for your cleave, and you have your support stack for you. And you know, you keep the points out of your cleave so that you don't push the wave, but then when you're ready to go farm the jungle, you just throw 3 points into your cleave right away. But anyways, Rock gonna get dropped on the mid lane. Stun comes out from Zero Master. You're gonna try to hold Gregor down long enough that they can beat him down with the Golem, and that is exactly what happens. Looking for the Dazzle now. He's having a hard time running away. A couple more auto attacks. Will they be able to bring him down? The Golem is chasing under the tower, and the Warlock's auto attack will bring him down. One more Earth Spike from the Lion, and they could turn this around on Kashyyyl too. Yeah, he goes a little bit too aggressive, and one more attack from this Golem. Is it going to be enough? Can it get to the Vengeful Spirit? It does indeed. So triple kill for the Warlock, and this is what you want to see on your Warlock. He is happy camper right now. Picks himself up a Glove of Haste, which I'm sure will get turned into a Midas if he can. Getting that Midas early on this hero is so valuable, and another kill out on the Lina. This Golem just doing work. It has contributed to 4 kills in the span of its lifetime, and it's going to drop to the tower, so no gold going the way of the Tusk or the Dazzle, who have both rotated in for that. So Lina dies, respawns, dies again, so that is 2 quick kills onto Gregor. Not exactly what you want early on for throwing pains. They're having a... And, I mean, it's so dangerous. That first Golem, if it goes... Oh, okay, so he's just going to turn that into power treads. I thought he might keep that Glove of Haste separate and make it into a Hand of Midas to get that Aghanim Scepter up, but instead he's just going to go straight for the Brawling build, and Chainmail, this is probably going to be built into a Medallion and eventually a Solar Crest. So, yeah, set on there. Oh, Buckler. Okay. Alright, so he's just going for mech. He just wants to play a kind of core support Warlock. Just kind of get those team fighty items up early and just brawl around the fight. Now, a lot of Warlocks, when we see them picked up, like I said, it's a little bit more of a gimmicky build towards getting those Golems up as quick as possible. You know, you get your boots, and then you get a Midas, and then you get an Aghanim, and that is your game. You drop the rocks and you fight, and that's it. But Abom going for a little bit more of a versatile build, which allows him to fight instead of fight when his rock is off cooldown, which I think makes sense. Obviously has its trade-offs, but we'll see how it plays out. Kashyyyl up on the top lane, he's going to get picked off here. Easy peasy, they find him in the trees, get a stun on the Lion, and a couple attacks later, that is it. They're going to expend the Gyro call down to try to stall that out a little bit, but nothing going to come of that. Larica, can I have some stats on what Warlock builds are like? What the most popular item builds are like? I'm really curious on how most people are playing it, because I feel like maybe I just play him gimmicky, and that's just me projecting it into this game, but I don't know, we'll see. Rotation from the Silencer and the Lion over towards mid. Looks like they maybe wanted to make something happen, but they're just going to roam counter down towards bottom. I think they want to resume the pressure on this safe lane here. Troll is dealing just fine with the Gyro up in safe lane, so they're going to leave it for now. Gyro Rocket going to fly over towards Frisbee. He might take a bit of damage, but I don't think he's going to die here. Oh, he walks forward. Gyro's going to throw the call down. Yeah, this could have been a mistake, and indeed it was. The troll comes back to try to reduce the damage on that rocket, and instead takes a whole whack load. But down on bottom, we trade the silent. Oh, actually, sorry, silencer and
is under attack.
Silencer and Lion get kills on Tusk and Dazzle. Those were the words I was looking for.
Is under attack.
They're going to pop off a regen rune, keep her nice and healthy for this mid lane, which could actually come into effect here. I mean, if she's at full mana, I think she can burst down A-Bomb from full. As long as she gets that stun, if she can walk up there, throw a Dragon Slave, and get the Laguna Blade, I think that is pretty close to dead. Snowball coming in on bottom lane. They find Smug. There's the Tusk Punch, and he gets the Magic Wand to keep him alive for another second or two. Pops off the Global Silence, and there's the Tombstone to try to fight this out. They are 2v4, but Sandnar, he is not worried at all. He's chasing forward. Zombies mounting up onto this Vengeful Spirit. Will it be enough? There goes the Golem, and the call down coming out as well. Damage falling on everybody. Lion taking a good chunk of damage, but the Vengeful Spirit is dead. Tusk Snowball coming in. There's the Laguna Blade onto A-Bomb, but he survives it, heals himself up, and will be walking out of that with a decent amount of HP. The Gyrocopter's rocket is chasing him down. It's going to hit him onto the tower, but they're not too worried about that. Silencer respawns and teleports back in, throws the last word onto Commander Schwegs, but that's going to be the end of that engagement. So only 2 casualties in all of that brawling. I think that was a full 9 heroes down on the bottom lane, and we didn't really spill any blood. It was just the Lion and the Venge that traded their lives. And meanwhile, up on top, Frisbee just goes to town on the tower, brings it down, and Tier 1 drops first for Throwing Pains yet again. Okay, so he finally gets the mech on this Warlock. He put a buckler on the Courier not 10 minutes ago. Actually, no, 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago was 1 minute. Yeah, no, it was 3 or 4 minutes ago. He had the buckler, and it was just sitting there. Never got it delivered. But call down goes out as well, and they're focusing down the Tombstone. Can they bring down Sadnar as well? They're trying to do it, but oh, there we go. Tusk Punch is the damage they need, and Shallow Grave goes out on maybe the wrong target, goes out on the Gyrocopter when the Tusk was really low, but that Laguna Blade, oh man, the damage is good enough. They finally bring down the Tombstone, and the slows from the zombies are going to be enough to allow A-Bomb to walk away from this, but, oh ho! Zero Master runs in, finds a finger on the Gyrocopter and brings him down and evens up that engagement. So at the end of it, we see a 2 for 2 and a total golden XP change less than 300. It's not all that much, so pretty even fight there at the end. I think that was all because of that Lion Finger. If that didn't come out, Throwing Pains were happy with their positioning, but Vengeful Spirit finds herself amidst that Troll Warlord yet again, and the stun not enough to lock him down, and she ends up dropping. I think my mic might be muted in client. Okay, let's turn this off. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Testing. 1, 2. All right. How about now? Larkaderp, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I do not know if he's problem. Alright. Zero Master getting the stun out here. He's gonna TP out. Alright, so my co-caster still can't hear me in client. Okay. Ask the players to pause so that they have, so that it's on them. I don't want to interrupt gameplay or anything. But I also don't want to be ruining this for Dota TV, so looks like we're going to have a smoke gank here, so it doesn't look like they're going to want to pause for me quite yet. Just reconnect without a pause. Alright. Yeah, I can do that. Alright, so if I disconnect, reconnect, let's see if that helps. I like these, oh, okay. Alright, so this is what I was afraid of. I didn't want to miss the action. A rock gets dropped on the bottom lane, and there's the call down as well. One hero goes down on either side of the field, the Witch Doctor, or the Warlock and the Gyrocopter, but the Tusk, he actually died as well, but he's going to buy back and TP into this fight. Tusk Punch goes out onto the Undying, and the Lena's going to finish him off, but the Finger gets turned around, so Lena's going to drop as well, but Lion finds himself amidst 3 heroes, and that's going to be a fall for the majority of GPM. They lose 4 heroes as the Troll Warlord just works away on Roshan. So they've really been fighting 4v5, letting this Troll get as much as he can, and he's doing really well. I mean, he's got 75 last hits at 14 minutes, but well, and potentially a Roshan, but it's been a lot of space that or this lost fight is definitely a problem. Lurka, can you confirm whether or not you can hear me in client? I'm hoping that reconnect solved things. I'm still seeing the little pop-up, and I know my open mic is on, so I don't see why I shouldn't be showing up. A-Bomb teleports into potential death here as he gets stunned out. The Tusk is working away on him, but the Magic Wand and the Mechanism keep him alive for so long. He's going to use that upheaval to try to keep his keep the enemies in range while his team whacks away on him, and the Zombie's slowing up his shield as well. 2 heroes down, and the Tusk makes his way out the backside. He's still got a Zombie chasing him, but Troll working away on the Roshan still, and they have no clue he's in there. They think he's farming the jungle or something. And man, he's been working on that for so long. Hasn't wanted to use the ultimate to give away his position as well. So I think he could have gotten away with using it when they were fighting on the bottom lane, just been like, oh, I'm helping my team. But yeah, he avoids using the ultimate because he doesn't want the other team to know that he is Roshing. And there he goes, walks away with an Aegis, safe and sound. So 5 heroes up on the bottom lane, ready to get themselves another tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, the Lena is going to trade for top up in the top lane, of course.
Structures are fortified.
Lurka.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
Lurka, derp. Can you hear me?
Dire's structures are fortified.
Alright, fight breaking out here. Smog finds himself amidst that opposing Vengeful Spirit, gets stunned out. The call down and the Tombstone is going to get popped with the Tombstone. He's taking a lot of damage really early on. Not going to get soul ripped up, but the Troll is here to fight this time. And he tries to TP out. What was that? I don't know if that was on purpose, but now he's stuck in the middle of 4, and I don't think he's walking out of this one alive. Yeah, there's the Laguna Blade, there's the stuns, and he gets dropped.
That wasn't too bright.
So yeah, I think fighting without the Warlock there, especially since the Golem was off cooldown, was a huge mistake. I think you need to get all 5 heroes there together to be able to make that engagement happen. And I think they thought they were fine because they had the Aegis, but everything died too quickly for the Troll to be able to use it efficiently. I mean, the Tombstone and the Undying were both dead, as well as the Silencer before the Troll even got to that fight, so yeah, I'm not sure what this could be. My settings all seem okay. Hello? Yeah, I don't know. I think Lurka's taking me for a spin. Zero Matter looking for some D wards. Not going to find it here. He's missing the enemy ward that's sitting right at the entrance of his jungle here. But he does find himself a Ogre Frost Mage that's been used to stack, and he'll probably try to kill this off. Yeah, he's going to throw the stun, a couple more auto attacks, and that's going to be it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, well, if you guys, if anyone on Twitch is also watching in Dota TV, could you let me know how the audio is in there? If it's just Lurka that can't hear me, then no problem, whatever, weird glitch. But if it's all a Dota TV, that is a problemo. And I might have to kill my client and try reloading it, which I don't want to have to do. But, yeah. Anyways, Schweg's got himself a double stack here. He's going to stack it one more time for his own sake, and then we'll go back to farming that up. But Silencer throws an illusion into the spawn just to block it. What a trolly little play there, and annoying to say the least. So, they block a couple hundred gold from going in the pockets of that gyrocopter, but down on bottom lane, this Undying looks like he could be in trouble. Ooh. Alright, no, he finds himself a nice little safe spot in the trees and keeps himself safe from the wrath of that Lina with her deadly Laguna Blade. She's got that Yule Scepter. Ah! She can hear me now after she reconnected. Ha! Wasn't my fault. Wasn't my fault. I'm perfect in every way. Zero Matter. He's in a lot of trouble now. Turns around, throws the finger, and actually kills the Lina before she can kill him. Now, Undying trying to go to work on the Vengeful Spirit, but realizes he's in a little bit of trouble as the Dazzle comes in. Snowball going to go out from the Tusk, but he's letting that charge awfully long. He should have just let that rip right away. He's only going to end up halfway to the Undying, and actually, long-range Rod of Atos is going to keep him slowed while the zombies build up around him. And now the Undying, he's ready to go right back in, chasing down on a Kashyyyl. And will he bring him down? It doesn't look like it. The Shallow Grave is good. They're going to turn it right back around. Can they? What? What was that? Oh. Okay, they force-staffed the Undying as they Tusk punched him. I thought the Tusk had an Aghanim Scepter. I really did. I was like, he bought an Aghanims? He kicks him? Why would you kick him? That's goofy. But no, he... By a Force Staff, same effect as the Aghanim Scepter, I guess. Oh my god. What a goofy hero. Anyways, top lane. The Warlock is going to get a kill on the Vengeful Spirit as she gets a little bit too close and too up close and personal with that Warlock Golem. Ugh. Sorry for the yawns. When I talk a lot, my jaw gets sore and I just kind of yawn out of reflex to kind of stretch it out, and it interrupts the casting, but I assure you I am not tired or bored with this game. This is crazy awesome. I love seeing these weird picks from GPM. A Glory Push mid squad is really versatile in their play, I gotta say. I mean, the Troll pick, the Warlock pick, these are things you do not see every day, and they are making it work. And, you know, Throwing Pain, sticking with a little bit more of a standard lineup. They got the Gyro, they got the Tusk, you know, they Lina, but and they're still not having that that easy a time. So, you know, who says the meta is a thing? It's not. Meta is what you make it. Tusk on his way to a Shadow Blade now. He's going to be getting that relatively soon. If he gets all the last hits in this wave here, he should have that Shadow Blade. Misses 2 there, so he's going to be a little bit behind, but gets the Siege Creep, so that'll make up for it. There's a Shadow Amulet coming out to him, and that's going to offer him a little bit more versatility in these team fights. He can move around, enter fights, escape fights, whatever he needs to do, and there we go. Call down coming in on the bottom lane. Yule Scepter into the Light Strike array, but they miss on Smog. He Force Staffs away, but it just doesn't matter. The damage from the Gyrocopter is too great. They bring down the Undying first, then they grab the Silencer, and that is a double kill going the way of Commander Schweg. So this is starting to be a really beefy Gyrocopter, and needs a little bit more damage. I feel like he's you know, he's only got the Black King Bar and the Helm of the Dominator for damage. Not really all that much. You got 20 and you got 24. Whatever. But, you know, when you start getting those heavy-duty damage items on this hero is when he starts to get really scary. And they've definitely got the lineup to make sure that he's always safe in these fights. You got the Venge swaps to keep him out of these exchanges. You got a Force Staff on the Venge as well. You got the Dazzle on the back line, giving him Medallion armor and heals. Potentially a mechanism coming up here as well. So definitely going to be a the backbone of this team when fights start breaking out. But Troll just kind of continuing to do his own thing on the top lane. Pushing in, trying to threaten that tier 3 a little bit. Obviously hasn't taken any damage yet, but he's kind of getting the creep wave up there. But Warlock and Troll Warlord have each been picked for just 11 games in 6.84 Pro Play. So, yeah, 1% of games. That's it's pretty minimal. I imagine Troll makes up for more than half of that. I don't think I've seen many, if any, Warlock picks. That said, there's a couple teams that like the Warlock. I think MVP Phoenix, one of the MVP teams, I can't remember if it's Hot 6 or Phoenix, one of the two really likes running Warlock, and I think we saw some of it in the TI Open brackets, but Smog spotted out there by Sam, but Sam doesn't want to go for the fight. But fight breaking out here in the river. They're going to throw the rock just for the two heroes, but I think it'll be worth it, especially if this Tusk gets a little too close, and indeed he does. Rock's starting to blast away at him. Blink in from the Lion. Oh, it doesn't get the stun out onto the Gyrocopter, but they're looking for the Tusk. He snowballs in for a little bit. They got the detection they need to hold him down. A couple more auto attacks, and the Troll Warlord gets the kill with the Whirling Axes. And there's 3 heroes down and 2 golems up. And GPM more than happy to start pushing down mid lane. They're definitely going to get to tier 2 tower for this. Whether or not they push for the tier 3 is another question entirely. I guess it'll depend on how long these rocks stay alive. I think it should be fine. I think they can get at least a little bit of chip damage on the tier 3, but Silencer just going ham, chasing down onto Commander Schwegs. Wants to find a little bit of blood, but not doing quite enough damage to finish him off, despite doing a lot of damage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, tier 2 is going to fall, golems are going to drop, and whether or not they continue is up to them. I think they could if they wanted to, but it's starting to get a little bit harder. Golems are down, waves getting cleared out by the Lina, and they decide it is time to get the hell out. They've gotten what they needed. They got a few kills. They got a tower. There's a swap in on Smog. He's going to pop the Global Silence, though, and the Undying actually cancels his TP to throw down a Tombstone. They are all in on this, and GPM know when and how to fight. They bring down the Vengeful Spirit right off the bat. They're looking for Gregor. He survives long enough with the Shallow Grave to get a kill on the Silencer, but doesn't really matter. He is dead himself, and on the backlines, the Tusk trying to come in, deal with that Warlock a little bit. Tombstone getting worked on by Commander Schwegs right now. The, oh man, the Undying dropping dangerously low, and the Snowball is going to catch him. The Undying's going to drop, and the Tusk punch in on the Lion as well. Double kill for Sam, and they want to find the Warlock as well. He's just going to stand still and TP. They got no stuns for him, and the homing missile was attempting to catch him out, but he TPs back to base.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, so Warlock Golem is now doubled as he's got that Aghanim Scepter, and he now begins work on the Refresher Orb that we were talking about earlier. He's got the 1 ring of health out of the 2 that he needs, and then he needs 2 more rings of mana, or ring of regen, whatever. He needs 2 perseverance, that's what I'm trying to say. Frisbee, farming away on these ancients, going to grab himself a little bit of extra gold, and he's got himself a Black King Bar on the way. He's going to make his way into the Roshan Pit as well, and going to start chipping away at that. No Radiant Vision to spot him out on this, so they have no clue he's in here, and he's going to finish it off before they have any clue. So another Aegis going the way of the Troll, and I think they're going to use this to break high ground for sure. Drawing lines down towards the bottom lane, so Undying's going to start pushing that, and everyone's going to start making their way over in that general direction. Everyone kind of just hovering the Rosh Pit to make sure that the Troll is safe in his Roshan attempt, and we'll see how the rest of this fight breaks out. But oh man, Tusk makes a mistake trying to jump into that fight, and the 2 rocks do go down. Kashiel gets a good swap, pulls the Silencer into the middle of a fight, but he's going to trade his own life for that. Commander Schwegs, like I said, the backbone of this team, he is going to get dropped and the dazzled very shortly thereafter. That is a 5-man wipe for 1, and Troll is going to get this Roshan without a problem. They're probably going to, I think actually they just go mid off of this. They were motioning for bottom before the Roshan attempt began, but now they've got the advantage. They got 5 heroes down. Mid lane it is, and this is going to be a set of racks for sure. Warlock coming to him on the courier. Yeah, Voidstone and his Town Portal Scrolls, so he's got the first Perseverance up. That'll give him a little bit of mana regen he needs.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Is that? Okay, so no. Warlock Golems do not get the Troll ulti. I thought they did for a second. I was like, what? That's cray-cray, but No.
Dire's top tower.
Zero Matter blinks forward, gets the Hex out onto Kashyyyl, but the Snowball is good to keep him safe for now. Heroes spawning on the Radiant side, and Throwing Pains ready to make a fight of this. They throw a stun out, but the Undying Tombstone is out, and the Upheaval is slowing everyone down. The Upheaval with the zombies, that is so deadly. Look at how slow this Tusk is. 100 movement speed. He can just not get away from this Troll. Chases him down, and the Troll pops off the BKB. He's got the Aegis. He doesn't care. A couple bashes later, and the Lina is dead. Now we've got the Gyrocopter ready to make a fight out of this, but can he really? The Troll has used his BKB, so maybe there's that. Yeah, they're just going to Force Staff the Troll out, get out with their lives. They've lost one. That is... And they've taken a Rax. They trade their Warlock for the Rax. They're happy with what they get, and they're going to back out to push the other lanes. So, really good fight there, and a couple key items getting picked up on the side of Glory Push mid. They've got the Force Staff on the Silencer. They've had that for a while. Ultimate Orb, which I'm curious to see what it'll be. Perhaps he's making that into a Sheep Stick. Maybe a... who knows? Maybe a Scotty for himself. He's been doing a lot of DPS in these fights. He's kind of been a DPS silencer. He's got 32 stolen hits, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a little bit more of a greedy item pickup. But we've got the Troll, like I said, he's got that BKB. He did get a Blink Dagger late. He didn't have that before, but he's kind of been using that to get in and out of fights. So I think that's a decent late game pickup for him. Of course, the Warlock, we've talked about his items to extent. Zero Matter's got himself a Blink Dagger and a Cloak. Eventually, that'll be a Glimmer Cape. Just looking for a little bit of extra. Wait, what? What happened to Troll? Oh, he was from the Ancients. He got picked off. I totally missed that. Sorry, friends. I'm looking at the items and missed a huge pick-off. Yeah, Troll Warlord. A little bit too greedy, and that Radiant Ward spotted him out. They bring him down. Undying. Got a Rod of Atos and the Pipe of Insight. We saw that Rod going out earlier on to slow down the Tusk, and these slows are immense. I mean, you get the Rod of Atos, you get the Upheaval, you get the zombies going, and you just no movement speed to speak of. Gyrocopter looks like he's looking towards a Monkey King bar right now for himself. He wants to get a lot more damage on board, and actually, wait, is it on the courier? Yeah. So he's got an MKB. Got a lot more damage to speak of, and hitting for almost 300, plus the Flat Cannon is going to start making team fights happen for Throwing Pains. They've got Eul's Scepter on the Lina, and she's working towards an Aghanim Scepter. She just needs a little bit more gold. She probably will get it from this camp here, so that's going to be an Aghanim's on her. Vengeful Spirit has the Force Staff. They've got the Dazzle with the Medallion and the Mech, like we talked about, and still just a Shadow Blade on the Tusk. So he's... not progressing as quickly as he'd like to. In fact, opting for a BKB instead of finishing the Silver Edge. So I think that's the right choice, but it's been a hard game for Tusk. Smog is going to run into this Venge, and oh man, the DPS, it's coming out. The Dazzle is there to give the Shallow Grave, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, maybe it will as they Force Staff him away, and the Laguna Blade catches the Silencer. That is the first use of that Ag's Laguna, and it brings Silencer down almost immediately, and yeah. They keep the Venge alive, so the Shallow Grave is good, and well played by Throwing Pains to turn that fight back around. The Silencer has not been having a good time in these fights. He's been getting swapped constantly by the Venge, pulled into the middle of these calldowns, and despite his Force Staff, he's just been getting eaten in these fights. Blink Dagger and a Force Staff up on the line now. Actually, I think he got a big bounty of gold from his last couple of kills, and instead of going for that Glimmer Cape, instead just grabbed the Force Staff straight up. Everyone's just kind of taking a break to passively farm it out a little bit. Throwing Pains definitely not wanting to venture too far from their base. They want to make sure that they're safe in what they do at all times. They don't want to give an edge to GPM, because we've seen last well, this game and the last, you give Glory Push mid an inch, they take a mile. So you got to give them nothing, give them no space to get away with anything. And sure enough, I mean, like that Imbiz gank, they were trying to grab a little bit of a cheeky kill there with picking off that Venge, and thankfully the Dazzle was nearby to make that to nullify that. lose my camera a little bit there, but we are good. Swap in on the mid lane. Oh wait, was that a swap or was that? Oh, that was a 4-stab forward. Tusk goes for a snowball that he didn't exactly want to commit to, and now is having a hard time getting back out of that. He's gotten, oh man, so many slows. He's got the maim from the troll, he's got the zombies on the field, and the whirling axes as well. Just cannot escape. There we go. Troll just blinks in. BKB, he's ready to fight. Actually gets bursted down by the Lina with that Laguna Blade and some auto attacks, but the Warlock Golems are going to go down, and the upheaval is doing work. Sam is trying to make his way over to A-Bomb to try to stop him from channeling that out, but it doesn't matter. 4 heroes down on the side of Throwing Pains, and now chasing forward onto Commander Schwegs. The rocks are up, ready to go. They blink forward, or sorry, 4-stab forward onto Schwegs, and the buyback from the Lina. And just gonna get held down. Yeah, no. Golems, one of them's gonna drop for sure. Well, the other one as well. They're a little bit sketchy about moving in here. They don't have the troll, they don't have their true DPS, and the 2 real heavy hitters from Throwing Pains are up and ready to fight. But the last word goes out on Gregor, and he's gonna have to force Yules to keep himself alive. And will they bring him down? A couple more auto attacks, and the silencer does it. They seal the deal on Lina, and that is a dieback from her. They can definitely get these racks if they want to. They turn around, a few auto attacks later, and this is going to be a full set of racks on the mid lane as opposed to just a melee. Now they're going to fortify, and GPM do back out. Shield goes for a swap, but he might find himself in a little bit of trouble as Smog force-taps himself back out. But it doesn't look like they want to fight. They know that the gyro is coming in behind them. But the Tusk goes for the snowball in, but the refresher gets popped, and 2 more golems on the field. Commander Schwegs working away onto A-Bomb, trying to bring down this Warlock, and he's just not doing anything. He didn't have the upheaval channel because he got stunned out by the Monkey King bar, and these Warlock Golems are not lasting as long as he wants them to be. But now, Troll Warlord, Boots and travels in. He wants to get this Gyrocopter. The Black King bar is down, but the Dazzle Shallow Grave is good, keeps him alive for now, but there's no way he walks out of this one. Sadnar just trying to keep himself alive for now, and the Lion stuns are good. They find another kill, another buyback by the Gyrocopter. Well, not another one. This is his first buyback, but with all these buybacks, Throwing Pains will survive and weather the storm, but, I mean, GPM did not have to spend so much to make that push, and I think after all those buybacks, that is a huge gold swing in the favor of GPM. Stop looking at that fight recap and instead look at the gold graph, which is 12,000 in the favor of GPM now, and XP looking pretty much identical. The 2 graphs sitting right around the same. So Glory Push mid at an advantage that may end up being insurmountable. It's hard to tell, so I don't know. But this Gyro is getting nice and fat. I mean, he's got himself a Eagle Song, beginnings of a the beginnings of a butterfly, and that evasion is going to go a long way against the Troll Warlord. He has not even begun to think about getting that MKB. He should now, if he's thinking ahead, if he's checking the Gyro's items, but whether or not that happens is another question entirely. Revenge going in to check on Roshan. It is about probably 20 seconds, 10 seconds from spawning, and she is just going to miss it. So they think, oh, Roshan's not up. Swap out on the Troll Warlord, but Kashiel just finds himself in an uncomfortable position as a Troll races forward and finishes him off. Now the upheaval is making it hard for Juggle to get away, but they actually miss the stun because of it. He's so slow, the Lion throws the stun ahead of him and misses, but the Finger of Death is going to be there to bring him down. So 2 heroes down on the side of Throwing Pains, and Roshan is back up. So that is going to be an easy Rosh, I feel, and we're probably going to see the cheese over towards the Warlock, or who knows, maybe even the Silencer. The Silencer has started to do a lot of damage. Silencer just over 100 gold away from picking up that Scythe of Vice, so they are going to have that Sheep Stick available for bringing down that Gyrocopter, and that's going to mean a lot for GPM because, like I said, there's a lot on Gyro to carry this game right now. I mean, there's not too much else in core damage. Sure, you've got the Lina, but the Troll has been blowing her up really, really quickly.